Hello, I'm Minerva Delgado, and I am the board president of Community Food Advocates. On behalf of the board of directors and staff of Community Food Advocates, including our executive director, Liz Ackles, I am thrilled to welcome you to our celebration tonight. Um, Thinking back to the beginning of Community Food Advocates, a few of us were there. I see Agnes, our co-founder, Janet Poppendick, our first board chair, and a few others in the room that were there from the beginning. I have to say our work has always been important, I believe. But since the pandemic and the economic stresses that New Yorkers are feeling with high food costs and inflation, our work feels more urgent than ever. Um, I actually have the great job tonight of sharing with you our accomplishments over the last year. And later on, you'll hear a little bit about the work that lies ahead. But it has been an incredible year of growth and impact. Um, and I'm going to start with youth food advocates right here at this table. The program has grown so much. Right now, we have 17 students in 14 New York City high schools, representing over 33,000 school students. Youth food advocates. These young people are working in their home schools to improve school meals, but they're also working collectively to push citywide policy. And they have worked side by side with us at CFA this past year to secure funding for cafeteria redesigns. And we're really thrilled about that. In June, we were successful in securing $50 million in the city budget to redesign 100 new middle school and high school cafeterias. So that means that about a third of all middle and high schools will have redesigned cafeterias. But will we stop there? No, exactly. We want 100% of schools to have these enhanced cafeteria experiences for the students, and we're not going to stop until we get there. In addition to the work that we're doing at the city level on both school meals and good food purchasing, CFA has been working with our coalition partners and legislators to expand our advocacy work to the state level. Less than 2 months into his term, Mayor Adams signed Executive Order 8, demonstrating the centrality of good food purchasing to his food policy agenda, and we're really thrilled about that. The Good Food Purchasing Bill was introduced by City Council Speaker Adrian Adams. The Good Food New York bill was introduced in the state legislature. And in October, we launched the New York State Good Food Purchasing Coalition. Yes, you can whoop it up at that. We're thrilled about that. And we also this year launched a campaign for statewide universal free school meals in New York State. And we did that with our partners at Hunger Solutions New York. We have a lot to celebrate. We have a lot to celebrate, and we're not done. So, CFA also received a 2-year funding grant to create a supermarket access project in gentrifying neighborhoods, and we're growing. We've hired 2 new staff members. We have employed a strategic communication firm in the last year, and we've added 3 new board members. So we have lots to celebrate. Um, I have to say, I feel our work has never been stronger. And the strength of our work is directly related to the strength of our strategic partnerships. And I'm looking around, I'm seeing so many of you whom we could not do this work without. And so we're not just here celebrating accomplishments, we're also celebrating people, all of you that support the work and are part of the work. And tonight we are honored to be able to acknowledge one of our partners. And before I call you up, Kate, I'm going to tell folks a little bit about you. So tonight we are honoring one of our key partners, Kate MacKenzie. Kate is the executive director of the Mayor's Office of Food Policy. And I first met Kate when I was at Food Bank for New York City, and she was at City Harvest many, many moons ago. But Community Food Advocates has a long history of working with Kate. When CFA was fighting for universal free school meals, she was leading government relations at City Harvest, and they were an incredibly important partner in that fight. We were so excited to learn when she was tapped to lead the Office of Food Policy because Kate understands advocacy. She comes from this world. She understands the important role of advocacy in creating a better government, better services for people of New York City. And so together, we have an incredible opportunity during this administration um, with Mayor Adams to advance food justice in a way that we haven't had in a very long time, if ever. And so this is a huge opportunity. And it's wonderful that Kate is at the helm there with the Food Policy Office. She has worked very closely with us on our coalition work to champion good food purchasing in New York City. And she's been a crucial ally in our effort to improve the school cafeteria experience. And there's so much more. In her role, she is charged with making New York City's food system healthier, more equitable, sustainable, and that is not a small agenda for the largest city in the country. She has been the chief architect of Get Food NYC, the city's pandemic food response. She's also leading the city's efforts to integrate food and nutrition in our educational programs so that all children can develop lifelong healthy eating habits. She has a long history of working in the food space, as I mentioned, including 10 years at City Harvest as an adjunct faculty professor at Columbia Teachers College and as a public health epidemiologist. She's a 2000 grad of Cornell University with a bachelor's in nutrition and a master's from Columbia Teachers College in public health nutrition. We know Kate is an amazing advocate. She's an amazing food policy strategist, and she's an incredible partner. And she is someone who will not relent until we eliminate food insecurity in New York City. So please help me welcome Kate MacKenzie.
I have a lot to say, and I'm trying to organize it in my head. Thank you to Community Food Advocates for so much. And I said this to Agnes earlier tonight and Liz, but when I was riding the train up and I was, doing my due diligence and getting to just, I talked to Ribka, I talked to Liz all the time, but I was like who's really on the board of CFA right now? I should know that. And it was a walk down memory lane. And I felt like, am I walking into like a "This Is Your Life," Kate MacKenzie? Because it certainly felt like that, and in all of the best ways possible. And I think about my journey in food policy, and you got it so right. I, at my core, am an advocate, and at my core, want to fight for what's right for all New Yorkers, especially New Yorkers who are marginalized and don't have opportunities that are just commonplace for other New Yorkers. And that's challenging for me. And now, as a mother of a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old in public schools, this fight is really personal because my kids are in a public school. They've always been in public school, but now they're at a public school where we have to fight. We don't just get what we want because we're in a a diverse neighborhood, but a neighborhood where there's enough parent supporters to bring out the action and bring out the responses that deserve attention. Now I'm at a school where we need organizations like Community Food Advocates. It's really personal. And to have that experience of seeing literally how Community Food Advocates comes across my Facebook feed as something that is important for all parents comes full circle for me. And I can't tell you, how important it is to have that relationship of working from the outside in as well as now the inside out. And I think if I think about my life 1 year ago tonight from where we are now, Liz will tell you, like, we were nervous. We didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I would have a job. I didn't know how Mayor Adams was going to create the space for really driving food justice home. And then it came real. And it's still so real. Now, and I said this, I think, to Jan Poppendick earlier tonight, like, there's so much opportunity. We just have to grab our breaths. And so, yes, this $50 million, like, Liz, I remember dropping my kids off to school and walking to the train. I'm like, Liz, do you have a minute? Do you have a minute? Because, like, I can ask for anything right now. We can make anything happen. And it was kind of like that, the Austin Powers moment of, like, how much money should we ask for? And I was like, $50 million. We want $50 million for cafeteria enhancement expansions. And it was like, all right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And then I talked to Chris, and he was like, I don't know, Kate. I don't know. But we're making it happen. And I can't, and we're also going to make it public in the new year about which schools have it, with pictures, and driving the transparency to all of this work. So, but it is not with, like, this is not like a government show. No. This cannot be done without the support of true partnership and relationship. And I really want to underscore the relationship and honest conversations that can happen between community organizations and government, and lifting up the experiences of New York families and school food service workers who bring that to life in everything that we do. This isn't just putting a menu together. It would be easy if it was that. It's about making sure that staff feel supported in what they're doing. CFA stands for that. It's not just enough, believe me, I remember 20 years ago talking to Agnes and Kathy about, and we have come so far from those conversations of dealing with just hunger to put calories on the plate to really making sure that what we're feeding is quality food for our kids. I can't think of another organization beyond Community Food Advocates that believes and values that more by centering food justice in the conversation, and not just health, not just justice, but everything that surrounds that. And so I am so honored to be here tonight to accept this Founders Award. And I will bring this back to, I am a Cornell alum, and I took a picture of myself coming in and sent it to a few of my college friends. I was like, look what I'm doing tonight. And it quickly was like, you are officially old because you're being honored for something. But I still feel like the early 20-something with Agnes down the hall and going into the farmer's market food from I still think about this, Bowling Green Farmer's Market every Tuesday morning of the first Tuesday of the month. We would have a nutrition education meeting, and I think about that all the time. But you all are in this room able to support this organization that I hope grows and thrives to no end. And I encourage you to click that QR code on your table tonight to ensure that it's not just the two people that are hired, which I also want to say, that's hard work. Making sure that you get quality staff, making sure that you bring board members on, all of those things, Minerva, that you mentioned deserve like a unbelievable amount of applause, because that process work is the hard work. And as board members, you need to know that, like, we see it, government sees it and values it. And I just hope that the path ahead is, here, we're here for you. I'm here for you. I'm waiting for the next Austin Powers moment, because we're going to make it happen. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kate. Beautifully said. We appreciate you so much. And thank you to all of you again for joining us tonight. Now I'm going to turn it over to Liz Ackles, our Executive Director, who will continue with the program. Okay, I'm turning it over. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I also have a lot to say, Kate, but I don't have too much time to talk, so I'm going to try to keep it as succinct as a policy person can keep anything. It's wonderful to see everyone here. I'm really thrilled to honor Kate, really a critical partner at a critical moment. So thank you. I'm going to spend time talking about what we plan on doing in the upcoming year. We have a lot planned. This has been a very busy year, and we have a busy year planned ahead. But before I do that, I do want to take a few minutes to talk about you. You're going to hear about us. You've heard about us. To talk about you who are here in this room, every single person who has made some contribution to this organization. We are 6 full-time staff people. We have Agnes, our founder, who is with us all the time. But we do our work because we partner with people. So every single person in this room has made some contribution to our ability to thrive as an organization. So I just want to go through, I just want to acknowledge our board of directors, who ensures the health and well-being of our organization. A critical, time-consuming, fabulous group of people that are dedicated to this. Agnes, she's gotten a bunch of acknowledgments, but Agnes never likes to be in the spotlight. Agnes is fabulous. Agnes Molnar and Kathy Goldman are co-founders. I want to do a special acknowledgement to our staff. And I'd like everyone who's on the staff to please put your hands up. Anna Lily, I know you don't want to, but do it. We just have an incredibly talented, committed group of people. We always say we're small but mighty, and that are all of that and highly effective in the work that we all do together. So thank you. Our partners, our Lunch for Learning Coalition partners, who we've been, some more recently, some for a long period of time, have been working together to, along with our friends at the Office of Food and Nutrition Services, otherwise known as School Food, and our youth food advocates, to ensure that New York City public school students have the best school food program. We're striving for this altogether, imaginable, beyond imagination. That's what we're striving for. And so we're working on cafeteria enhancement, and we'll talk about that, but that's our vision that we're working towards. Our good food purchasing partners, who are doing groundbreaking work on both the city and state level to use government procurement power of food to transform the local and regional food economies. It's amazing work. Youth food advocates who bring their creativity, energy, and smarts and join together with our experience doing advocacy work to make incredible contributions to our Lunch for Learning Coalition work around school food, and we'll be growing beyond that. And last but not least, our donors and funders who we quite literally couldn't be doing this work without. So I just want to give a special acknowledgement there to run an organization takes funds, to treat people well takes funds, to gather people together takes funds, and we're greatly, greatly appreciative. So I'm going to take a minute just to give as brief of a snapshot as I can of the work coming up in the year to come. I'm going to touch briefly on the different items. Anyone who knows me knows I'm very happy to talk more about it. So are the team members, who are always happy to talk more about what we're doing. As you heard from Minerva, we're moving forward on both the city and state levels on school food issues and good food purchasing. We are also starting a project that we recently got funded for around access to full service supermarkets, which in low income neighborhoods, a long entrenched problem that that has been added to by gentrification. So it's a big project, but that's what we're looking to get started on. In terms of school meals, our vision this year is to ensure that every high school and middle school has a redesigned cafeteria. We now have about a commitment of about a third of the high schools and middle schools. We got $50 million last year. We had previously gotten $25 million. So a third of the high schools and middle schools will be completed roughly by June. I want to acknowledge Chris and Nelson from the Office of Food and Nutrition Services, who are just amazing partners. We are fighting to get $200 million more in this upcoming capital budget. That will do that, fully scale this program. And that's what we see. We want equity across the board, every high school and middle school. It's truly transformational to the students who experience this. So on the state level, we have a new project that just kind of came our way and we jumped into it, and we launched a coalition for universal free school meals on the state level in, when was that? It was September, October, something like that. And the reason we did that is that students across the country had universal free school meals because of the pandemic. That waiver expired. We are lucky, because of our fight, that we have universal free school meals that will stay in New York City going forward. But 735,000 students lost universal free school meals in New York State alone in September. So we're looking for a state guarantee, and we would welcome everyone's energy for that fight. We're focusing on Governor Hochul. We want her to be a champion of this and take this on in her executive budget and state of the state, and that's where we're pushing. Okay, for good food purchasing, we have a lot going on with good food purchasing. On the city level, the New York City Good Food Purchasing Policy Coalition, it's a mouthful, and the Mayor's Office on Food Policy, along with the city agencies, have just recently started quarterly meetings to get together. Good food purchasing is new, it's complex, there's a lot to learn and figure out, but to work together to advance and maximize good food purchasing in New York City. It's very exciting. Minerva mentioned the executive order that the mayor did very early in his tenure, and for good food purchasing, and we are looking to build from that. And that is, Speaker Adams has introduced a good food purchasing, New York City Good Food Purchasing Bill, and we are working with the City Council and the Mayor's Office to develop the strongest bill we can possibly have. And why we need a bill even though we have an executive order, is that a bill codifies the program into law and means that regardless of who the mayor is, the city is obligated to keep that going. On the state level, we have a lot of exciting work. We have a Good Food New York bill, which would enable municipalities, including New York City, across the state to do values-based procurement. So we're working, we have great sponsors of the bill, the chair of the Agriculture Committee in the Senate, chair of Finance in the Senate, Senator Hinchy and Senator Kruger, the Assembly Majority Leader, Crystal Peoples-Stokes, and we're looking to move that bill and get it passed this year. So very exciting. We focus on, I'm not gonna get into that. I could talk to people about why we focus on procurement later, but the other exciting thing is we just recently launched a New York State Good Food Purchasing Coalition. And the efforts of that coalition will be to get the Good Food New York bill passed, and then work with groups in different municipalities throughout the state once it's passed to implement good food purchasing practices. So we're thinking big, we're growing. So when we say, this is a year of growth and impact, it really truly is. Youth food advocates. We have a few of the students here. We're stronger than ever. There are Minerva mentioned the numbers. We're 17 students, 14 schools, representing 33,000 students. And focusing on both what's happening in their schools and working on the efforts to get enhanced cafeterias to all students citywide. You have to see them in action. They're wonderful. And there's nothing like a student who is equipped with the policy information, personal experience, understanding of the dynamics that are happening to have probably the most significant impact on any policymaker. So I'm going to leave us there, because I've spoken for a while. I thank you all again for being here. This is our first in-person thing since 2019 with a crowd. And I am going to hand the mic over. Yes.
Liz, congratulations. This is terrific. Since you have our email addresses, could you send us some talking points and key elected officials to whom we can send messages advocating for your various initiatives? Because I'd love to do that.
Yes, thank you. Most definitely. You'll be hearing from us. Thank you for the invitation.
Everybody.
Yes, no, that's what I mean. That's how we do it, everybody. Thank you. I'm going to hand it over to Marissa Finn, the chair, member of the board of directors and chair of our fundraising committee.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So fun to be in real life with people. My name is Marissa. As Liz said, I'm a CFA donor, a friend, and a board member since 2020, and the head of the board fundraising committee since just a few months back. Thank you. So as we've heard tonight, I'm definitely going to repeat, but that'll help you remember it. CFA's team and partners have a lot going on. Cafeteria redesign, number one. We've seen some great photos up there tonight. Keep looking as it cycles through. Statewide universal, New York City and state good food purchasing bills, working with 17 youth food advocates, some of whom are in the room, and the beginning stages of the supermarket access project. None of this would happen with the small but mighty team of 6 staff members and organizational nonprofit partners, Lunch for Learning parent committee, friends, everyone in this room. We're here because we all play a part in advancing CFA's mission, whether that's showing up to events, as we've also seen in the photos, meetings, rallies. A lot of you have been to these rallies, some of them pre-COVID. Leveraging your relationships with other people. A lot of people brought friends out to this event. And giving financially. My job to ask for money tonight. So for those of you who can and are moved to, I hope you'll join me in supporting CFA tonight. There are signs on all the tables in case you missed them with QR codes and bit.ly links. Or you can text CFA 2022 to 44-321. That's CFA 2022 to 44-321. Or if you are not a millennial, there's cash and checks that can be left at the front. And credit cards. We have one of those swipe thingies too. If you cannot give financially tonight, others who are here can. So together, we will meet the needs of this incredible organization. They brought on 2 new staff members this year with money, and we as a team can make that happen, make us grow. So before we get back to the food and drinks, I would love to close us out tonight with a toast to CFA. Thank you all so much for joining. Huge thank you to Liz and the organization, the staff. Cheers. All right, thank you. Enjoy the evening.